Again, this lectures cover the C++ data types. So we are going to start with the integer data type. Normally, the integer data type is whole numbers such as 100, 50, 6, or -10. So it can be a positive or negative whole numbers. So here we say the integer variables can hold whole numbers such as 12, 7, -99. And we have different types of integer data types, depends on the size of the, so for example, short int is 2 bytes, unsigned short int is 2 bytes, int is 4 bytes, unsigned int is 4 bytes, also long int is 4 bytes, etc. So variables of the same type can be defined on separate line, or they can be defined on the same line. What we mean is that, for example, here we have a variable length and width. Their data type is the same, int. So we can define it or declare it in one line, such as written here, int length, comma, space width, because length and width have the same data type. And the next one is unsigned int area. So again, variables of different types must be in a different definitions. So int is length and width, the same data type, but area is unsigned int, so it's in different line. So that's example your integer types in the program. Again, here we have our number include IO stream because we want to use the cout statement. And then it's the namespace is std, standard library. Then we have our main function, main. So what we are learning here now is how to declare or define variables. So here we declare variable name checking. Data type is int. Unsigned int, and data name is mouse. Then we have diameter is long. Now we can see all the three variables have different data types, so they are in different lines. The next step is assign values to, again, in C++ programming, one equal sign means assignment operator. This means I'm giving -20 to a checking variable, or I'm storing -20 in a checking variable. Now, if I want to use equal, then I'll use two equal signs. So checking equal -20 means I'm saying that the checking value is equal to -20. So again, 4276, we are assigning 4276 to a variable named mouse. We are also assigning 100,000 to a variable named diameter. Then the next, we already talked about cout to print our statement on the screen. So here we are printing, we have made a long journey of 4276 miles. We can see the second mouse is in double quotation, so it's a string. It's going to print the word mouse. But the first mouse doesn't have any double quotation, so we are going to print the content of it. Now, anytime you want to use a variable, first thing we need to do is to declare the variable. So if we don't declare the variable and we assign value to it, we will get a syntax error. The next one is our checking account balance is, the amount is checking -20. Also, the garrison is about, the diameter is 100,000. Now, the integer literals is an integer value that is typed into the program's code. So, for example, items ordered is 15, or we assign 15 to items ordered. So here we say that 15 is an integer literal. And that's what we did in our previous example. So checking, we assign -20, 4276 to mouse, 100,000 to diameter. These are called the integer literals. Also, integer literals are stored in memory as ints by default. So to store integer constant in a long memory location, we are going to put uppercase L at the end of the number. Example is 1, 2, 3, 4, L. Now, to store an integer constant in a long memory location, we put LL at the end of the number. So 324 LL. Also, constant that begins with 0 are octa or base 8 value. So 075 is octa. Also, constant that begin with O 0x is base 16 hexadecimal. Hexadecimal 10 means A means 10, or 10 means it's A. So next we talk about the char data type. Normally, a char data type will be a single character in a single quotation. Also, it can be a symbol, a digit, as far as it's in a single quotation. So here we say we use it to hold characters or very small integer value. Why we say very small? Because you have to be only one single digit. The biggest will be 9. We can't say 10, 11, because the size of the char data type is only 1 byte of memory, so 1 character. So numeric value of character from the character set is stored in memory. So when we declare variable name letter, data type is char, we assign C character to it, but in memory, C represents 67. So that's an example for character literals. And now we can see the character literals in our program. Again, here we declare variable name letter, data type is char, and we assign A character, uppercase A to letter, and that's our character literate. Next, we print the content of the let variable, which is A. Then we assign B to A, which is going to overwrite the previous content A. So when we print it, we are going to print B second time. So the output will be A and B. So next is the character strings, and a series of characters in a consecutive memory locations. A character holds only one single digit, symbol, or character, uppercase or lowercase. A string can hold as many characters, depends on the size. So LO here, we have 4, 5 characters, this one string. And normally a string always ends with null terminator, which is backslash and 0. Again, we don't type it by default, because always a string will be in a double quotation. Again, character is in a single quotation. Using a string in C++, we always have to include a string class in our header file. So we use the keyword, the £, include string, and left and right arrow, same as the way we write IOString. So this can define string variables in programs. So when we include a string class, now I can declare variable as a string type. So in this case, we declare variable name, first name and last name. Their data type is string. We assign George and Washington to first name and last name. Then we use the cout to print the content of first name, which will be George, the content of last name, which will be Washington. So there's another example here. In the main function, we declare variable name, movie title, no space between. We follow the naming identifiers rules. Data type is string. Then we assign Wheels of Fury to the variable movie title. Then we print it. So my favorite movie is movie title. Again, it's not in double quotation, it's not in single quotation. So it's going to print the content of movie title. Normally, when we use a single quotation, it has to be only 1 character. Otherwise, we get an error. So the output here will be my favorite movie is Wheels of Fury, because movie title content is Wheels of Fury. Next, we talk about the decimal numbers, which we call the floating point data types. Same as integer, we have 3 different types: float, double, long double. Again, depends on the size. They can hold positive or negative decimal values. And also, we have the single precision for the float, double precision for double, and then long double precision for long doubles. So can also be represented as this will be a form of scientific notation, Yi notation. So 31.4159 is the same as we move only 1 decimal place to the left. So it will be 3.14159 E1, positive 1, because we move to the left. The same concept in arithmetic, we're converting a decimal number to scientific notation. The first value should be between 1 to 9, single digit. Then depends on if we move the decimal place to left, we're going to get a positive exponent. We move it to the right, it means we are increasing the value, so we get negative exponent. So here 0.000625, we move to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's why we have E negative 5. One thing also we should know that these are always double by default and can be forced to be float. You have to add the lowercase f to it. Or if you want it to be long, you have to add uppercase L to it. So by default, 31.4159 is double. So that's example here. We declare variable in the main function. We declare variable name, distance, data type float, mass, data type is double. So we assign, we can see the values in the notation or scientific notation. And the same thing with the mass variable. Then we print the sum is whatever the content is, meters away. And the sum mass is whatever the mass is, some kilograms. So mass is measured in kilograms, and also distance measures in meters. So next is our bool data type. A bool data type is true, false, 0 and 1. So in C++, we represent values that are true or false. Bool variable are stored as a small integer. So false represent 0 and true represent 1. So if I have a variable name all done, data type is bool, I assign true to it, it means the value will be 1. I have another variable name finish, data type is bool, and we assign false to it. It means the content of finish is 0. So again, 1 represent true, 0 represent false. So that's example here again. Now, I don't want to explain the number include IOStream using namespace. We went through it many times. So we come straight to the main function. We declare variable name bool value. Data type is bool. We assign true to it. And we print the content. So the content should be 1. So print to get 1. Now we change the value to false. So we assign false to bool value. When we print the content of bool value now, the answer should be 0 because false represents 0 and 1 represents true. So that will be the conclusion of this lecture. So in this lecture, again, we learn different types of C++ data type, integer, whole numbers, and also we have the decimal numbers, which can be double, float, long, etc. Then we talk about the characters, we talk about strings, and we talk about the Boolean. Now, with the terms of strings, we said we always have to add the number include strings class in our header file. So when we are using string data type, we have to include the string class in our program. So again, wish everybody the best and thank you.